great people. It's Amos here again, your online trainer on today's session under the Tcash app platform. What are we going to learn today? Today, we're going to learn how we prepare ourselves for future credits and stock financing. Future credit and stock financing. Um, okay, allow me to start our session this way. What are some of the advantages of using Tcash Soccer? If I'm to highlight just three of the best advantages amongst many that I find, is number one, I get to use a system that is AI integrated. The AI integration is so critical to me as a business person. Why? Because the AI is the future. And if I have a way of inviting AI into the business, then I know that even the decisions I'll make are decisions that are going to be reflective of the future, not just the present, but rather the future business environment. That is the first topic for me. The second topic for me, I can manage multiple stores all from one platform. Oh my goodness, that is so good. I like that about the app. The fact that I can own more than one shop. So that means I can still be a Kenyan with my Kenyan culture of owning more than duka moja. Every person has a kinyozi somewhere. So yeah, that is the term that will be used locally. So every person has a side hustle somewhere. So that means even if I'm employed, I can still own a shop. That is interesting, and manage it online from my phone. That is so interesting. And the final thing is the fact that I get to build a credit profile. That is the top most thing for me. Because as business people, for the longest time, we have been denied credits by financial institutions. Why? They lack records that can support our credit worthiness. But this is what the app is coming to sort. With the app, as we saw during our previous session, is that there is a history that is kept of all the transactions that you have made using the app, either as a person or as a business. So those transactions are kept as reference by the app. Then, what is the importance of keeping this history? This history is used to determine the credit worthiness of you as a person and the credit worthiness of your business. But how do I prepare myself? That is the subject that we are about to discuss now. With the Tcash app platform, you're able to prepare yourself um, for what is about to come by ensuring that you're using the Tcash for all your transactions in your business for the first 6 months. What does that mean? That if I'm to have my Tcash app today, I would need to transact with it for a period of time up to 6 months. Why? Because I have enough history of what happens in my shop month in, month out. And then I can use this history to access credit facilities from financial institutions and also use that credit score to actually ensure that I'm able to access credit from my suppliers. So that is what would mean that you are accessing your product or your supplies or your stock via credit. Wow, interesting. So what is this credit profile that you're talking about? If you tap now, if you switch from the business side to the personal side of the app, of course, switching profile takes just less than a minute, then you're there. So under your personal profile, there is the Tcash balance that shows up, what you have spent today, rotaries and bookings that you have today, and of course the orders there, refer none, and so on. Of interest to me is not any of those things in the top of the screen apart from the picture that is there of myself. So when I tap on that picture, then it brings me to something that is very interesting, something that we refer to as um, the credit score. How do I access that? There is the code there is the KYC that is already completed, and there is the credit score. But I have to mention something, even as we proceed, that you cannot be able to build a credit score if, after all, you have not completed your KYC. Remember, we did another session on the KYC where we said that KYC means know your customer. So you need to complete the know your customer for yourself for you to start building your credit score. So once you come to the credit score, that is the third option there. When you tap on it, then your credit score will just show up. There, there is what we refer to as different levels of credit. These different levels, um, of course, not everyone is credit worthy, but that everyone is not you and myself. We know we are credit worthy because we are business people and we transact and do real businesses to make money. Um, so the new would mean that we don't have a history for the credit level. The new would mean that we don't have a history of your transaction. And therefore, the app cannot say with certainty that this person, Amos, is credit worthy. That is where you can see that since I'm only active since February, my status is new. And therefore, I don't have any star there because I've not used the app for a duration of time. As I continue using the app, as I'm doing today, and in the days that have been there, then I will build on this credit score from new to low. Under the law, I'll have, of course, one star, and it will be tough for me to see or to access some credits from either financial institutions or from suppliers on my end. Or rather, I cannot also buy as a person on credit from anyone. However, as I even transact more, my level will become the fair level. Once it becomes the fair level, then I have some credit worthiness and people can start giving me items on credit. As I become a more active, a more active user, then the status changes to good and then great and then elite. At the elite level, you are very reliable and everybody knows that you're this type of a person who is credit worthy. Um, I know some of us, myself included, have walked into banking institutions with only one intention, getting some money to increase the stock in your shop. Many of us have done so. What the banks would demand is that you have something uh, to be used as a collateral. For example, in most institutions, they'll tell you, do you have a title deed for a parcel of land? Do you have a car logbook that we can use as your collateral? So now that is being phased out. And that is the unimaginable power of AI because the AI is going to store our information in such a way that now the bank can see our credit worthiness by just looking at our transaction history using this platform, the Tcash Soko platform. So when I have a credit level of elite, it is what I'll be using as my collateral with the bank. It is what I'll be using as my collateral with the suppliers that I have when I want to take some items on credit from them. So it is very important that we ensure that we increase the number of transactions that we are making using the app. It is very important to make sure that hata kama ni an item nimeuza on cash, I'm recording that on my app. Why? Because itanisaidia mimi as a business person to build on that credit profile. And this credit profile is what I'll be using to in my business to ensure that I'm accessing credit facilities from both banking institutions and from other businesses. Just to um, insist on something. For you to build a credit score and for you to be worth of given for you to be worth of credit, you must have a very good looking profile. How are you going to create your profile? You're going to make your profile by fixing your shop first. Once you fix your shop, you start making sales with the shop. Once your shop makes sales and continues to do so, then you keep on building your credit score. Your credit score will have different levels. You're new, no need to worry. I'm also new because we are all new to the app, but we are not new to the sales. So I'll continue making sales, but now using the app. Once I continue making sales, my credit score will keep on improving and improving and improving. And eventually, I will have a very good credit score. What is the advantage of a good credit score that I'm talking about? The advantage of a good credit score is that you are able to access items on credit, but again, the credit that you're getting does not incur as much interest as a credit score from a person who is at a lower level than you. Remember, when you're taking something on credit, you will pay for it, and you're paying for it with some interest or with some fees in it. If you're to take a credit facility from a bank, then you will not return only the principal amount. You return the principal amount plus the interest incurred. So if your credit score is very good, the amount of interest becomes very low. So that is one of the most great things that we need to do. Ensure that we are transacting more so that now we end up with a good credit score that can enhance the time period that we are given to repay our loan. But not just that, but again, that can help us to access credit at low interest so that the interest we pay is not very high for the credit facilities that we get. Um, just to remind us that once you have a good credit score, you're not only eligible for credit facilities from banking institutions. You're also eligible for credit facilities from your suppliers because many suppliers have already started onboarding the Tcash app platform. What is the importance of this, and what does this mean to your biashara? That you can access goods on credit, sell them, and then pay your supplier later. And that means you have made profit with money that you didn't even have. Isn't that interesting? So let us make sure that we do ourselves using the Tcash platform. How are we going to do so? We're going to do so by even encouraging our customers to onboard the platform so that they also build their credit score. Remember, it's going to be a two-way traffic. Yes, you're building your credit score, but you also want your clients or your customers to build their credit score so that when they come to your shop, you can be able to use the pay later option for them, or they can be able to use the pay later option to pay you later for things that they are picking now. So let us ensure that even as we do the sales using the app from our end, we encourage our customers also to join the Tcash platform so that they're able to pay us in an easy way, and they're also able to build their credit profile. Why so? Because once they build their credit profile, we are also able to give them items from our stores on credit, and they pay later using the pay later option in the app. So that is it about how you end up building a credit score that can help you access funds, not just for your personal use, but also for your biashara. So what have we said? We have said that for you to access credit facilities, you must have a Tcash account. Your Tcash account must remain active. You must ensure that you're transacting more with the Tcash so-called platform. The more you transact, the more you increase your chances of going to a higher credit score. The moment you go to a higher credit score, the moment you now are able to access credit on low interest rates, and not just that, but also access uh, products and services from your suppliers on low credits. If there is any question on what we have discussed in this session, kindly let it come through the chat section. I'll be responding to this question promptly. And until then, have a nice day. See you in the next one. Thank you.